morning. There has been a big controversy about whether Google is making us smarter or dumber. In my opinion, it's the latter. And there are many reasons why I think Google is weakening our intelligence. But I want to talk about multitasking. My claim is that multitasking multitasking while using Google worsens our memory. While you're on the internet and Googling or searching for a topic, it's almost impossible not to get distracted by all the advertisements and links and stuff like that. Reynal Jonka, expert in the academic development, and Sheila Cotton, Department of Sociology from the University of Alabama, confirmed this when they conducted a survey examining the frequency of multitasking while students were doing their schoolwork. They found that 33% of the respondents were using Facebook, 21% were checking their email. When they compared the amount of students that were spending their time studying against the amount of time they were spending on the non-school related information, they discovered that students spent most of their time on the social media websites. The average of time that they spent on Facebook and checking their email was about 125 minutes per day. In turn, this is affecting our grades at school and how we are able to recall memory. This quote by Douglas Merrill from Forbes News says that your brain can't take in process in two simultaneous separate streams of information and encode them fully into short-term memory. When information doesn't make it into short-term memory, it can't be transferred into long-term memory for recall later. If you can't recall it, you can't use it. And presumably, you are trying to learn something from whatever you're doing. Instead of actually helping you, multitasking works against you. Here's an example of this stated by Adam Gorlick in an experiment done by Professor Clifford Nass. Nass put 100 students through a series of tests. He divided them into two groups. One who had a high level of multitasking, and the other one were low multitaskers. So the two groups were shown a sequence of alphabetical letters, and they had to recall if a letter was showing up more than once. The students who were low multitaskers did great. However, the high multitaskers were having a hard time and were doing worse because they had difficulty keeping the letters sorted in their brains. Nass came to the conclusion that people who were multitasking regularly were paying a big mental price. So through this information and this material, I do actually think that multitasking weakens our memory over time. Thank you.
I like the way you introduced the topic. I thought you had a very clear statement of what your position was. Every piece of evidence was distinct and clearly cited. You explained it clearly and gave us enough detail so that we know what it is that we're listening to, and it applies to the subject very, very easily. Like I said, I think you gave us source citations on each one. Also, I appreciated that you kind of classified them into the different categories. Also, the example evidence is based on the experiment that's conducted, and I think an experiment definitely fits into that category. So when you classified it there, I was perfectly comfortable with that. I think you project pretty well. Maybe you could use a little bit more energy in your voice. Sometimes you're doing a little more reading than you might like, but you had a very good summary of the argument also. All right. Thank you.